Australian pork.
In order to address the marketing objectives set forth by Australian pork, including how to accelerate the conversion of ambivalent buyers into pork lovers, and how to add activity stream to BBPs, we structured our research around a single research problem. How can we better understand reasons why BBPs prefer beef and identify how to position pork to appeal to them? We formulated 4 research objectives. What are the specific reasons that BBPs purchase beef? What is the current position of pork in the market relative to beef, and what do BBPs define as a successful meal? How should pork be best positioned in the market to appeal to BBPs? And what is special about beef that you prefer that pork is lacking? We chose to conduct an initial survey consisting of 17 questions, including 3 open response questions. We distributed the survey via Facebook and received 81 responses, and then coded them in order to identify themes which we could further explore in face-to-face interviews. We then conducted 25 individual face-to-face interviews, asking respondents 16 questions in order to gain a better understanding of respondent perceptions on 3 main areas of interest in relation to pork consumption. The first was taste and ease of cooking, the second was freshness of meat, and the third was healthfulness of meat.
Research Objective 1. Our literature review and prior research indicated that BBPs were more likely to purchase beef because they were familiar with how to cook it, found it easy to cook, and enjoyed the taste. Our survey and interview responses further helped us understand consumer perceptions of beef and pork. Research Objective 2. Our initial survey helped us understand the position of pork in the market and revealed that relative to beef, pork was overall considered less expensive, of the same quality, less healthy, the same difficulty to cook, and the same tastiness. Our survey also revealed that the majority of men ate beef 3 to 4 times a week, while only eating pork 1 to 2 times per week, but that women were more likely to eat both pork and beef 1 to 2 times per week. Likewise, in our individual interviews, 60% of respondents cited eating home-cooked pork at least once a week, with 20% eating home-cooked pork 3 or more times a week. In our interviews, we also asked, how do you know when you've had a great meal? Over half the respondents defined a great meal as a feeling, such as being full, happy, or satisfied. 24% of respondents defined it as a taste, like yummy, delicious, or tasty, and the other 20% knew that they'd had a great meal when they wanted to eat more or even overeat. A few key findings in Research Objective 3 can help us understand how to best position pork in the market. Respondents in our interviews were fairly split on whether they would be more likely to cook pork if given easy-to-follow recipes. Of the 48% who said that they would not be more likely to cook pork, 5 said that they were not likely to cook in general, 3 said they don't use recipes, and 2 said that they were unlikely to cook pork. Of the 52 interviewees that said they would be more likely to cook pork if they were given easy-to-follow recipes, 1 stipulated that they would only cook pork if they could finish the recipe in 15 minutes, while another said that they would only cook pork if the recipe was easy enough. Our respondents were more favourable to the idea of buying pre-marinated pork, with 60% of respondents saying that they would consider such a purchase, and 8% saying they would maybe consider such a purchase. The most commonly cited incentive for buying pre-marinated pork was that it was considered convenient and easy. However, 32% of respondents reacted strongly against the idea of buying pre-marinated pork, primarily stating concerns about healthfulness and preference for making their own marinades. Of respondents who wanted to buy pre-marinated meat, the most popular offered marinades were sweet and sour, barbecue soy, and lemon and herb. Additionally, Over 50% of respondents answered other and said they would like to see Asian-inspired flavors in marinades, including Korean, honey barbecue Asian-inspired sauce, teriyaki, and soy sauce. Most interviewees assumed that the pork they consumed was grown in Australia, though many of them admitted that they were actually guessing. 72% of respondents indicated that they would be more likely to buy pork if they knew it was sourced from Australia. Common reasons for this was because they believed that in comparison to countries such as China, the regulation, standards and treatment of animals would be better, and the pork would be safer for consumption. Individuals also stated that they believed the quality of pork from Australia would be better and fresher than in other countries, and some expressed a desire to support the local community. In keeping with these findings, 72% of interview respondents also cited that they believed that Australian pork was healthier than pork grown elsewhere. Among common beliefs reported were that Australia has a well-regulated market, better food and environment for the pigs, and hence less chemicals, preservatives and growth hormones being given to the animals. Our main findings from Research Objective 3 were that pork consumers did not show a strong preference for receiving easy-to-follow recipes or for purchasing pre-marinated pork. They were interested in cooking Asian-inspired dishes, but this did not seem to be a major selling point for them. Our initial survey also indicated that freshness was the most commonly considered characteristic for respondents buying pork, and our interviews indicate that consumers prefer buying Australian pork due to a perception that it is fresher, healthier and better than pork produced in other countries. Australian pork should therefore clearly market pork as an Australian product, possibly through better labelling and packaging. In answering our final research objective, we were able to better understand consumer perceptions of the healthfulness of pork relative to beef. As a baseline, interviews were asked to identify what they considered to be nutritious in regards to meat, with common responses for nutritious meat being that in high in protein, iron, and low in fat. When respondents were asked what nutrients beef has which pork lacks, 31% of respondents admitted that they did not know. 29% of respondents believed that beef has more iron, and 26% believed that beef had more protein. When respondents were directly asked about the health and nutritional benefits of pork, 52% admitted that they did not know, while 12% were uncertain about their responses. The interview then delved deeper into finding out whether respondents would be more likely to purchase pork if they knew it was more nutritious than beef, and 40% of respondents said that they were definitely more likely to buy pork if it was more nutritious. Currently in the market, individuals have a negative perception of the health benefits of pork. The majority of respondents did not know about pork's nutritional benefits, although our survey responses indicated that 59% of respondents ranked healthfulness as one of the top 3 characteristics they considered when buying meat.
Limitations of this study include age and sampling limitations, including the significant female skew and lack of diversity in the sample. Response errors, especially in the survey, as some respondents were confused by similar questions, time constraints, and difficulty gathering data. The major findings outlined over the course of this presentation indicate that consumers associate great meals with feelings or taste. In order to improve consumer experience with pork and increase BBP purchases of pork, we recommend focusing on the positioning of pork before it reaches a table. Specifically, Australian pork should focus on messages regarding the freshness, quality, and healthfulness of meat by emphasizing its position as an Australian product and addressing market confusion regarding the health and nutritional benefits of pork.